or if they're going to be here, because if they show up, then we can get started and I can get you guys out early. Hopefully. You guys also should have. Thank you, James. I sent you guys an email that hopefully you guys all got, which was called the Wonderlic test. And we'll go over exactly what that is. But since we're talking a lot about IQs, I felt it was a good idea to kind of like test your IQs out, because I've never really done it too. But I thought this was really interesting. This was a good chapter to kind of see. It's not a full IQ test, but for those of you who don't know, this is what they give to football players. Monique was another one too. This is what they give to football players before they go to the draft. And so I felt it was kind of interesting. I know it's kind of early, so some of you, but so what I want you guys to do is if you guys want to start to take that test, you're more than welcome to. You can open it and just take it. It's 50 questions in 12 minutes. It's hard. So if you don't know something, I would suggest you just skip it and come back to it later. I don't even know if you can come back to it, but just skip it because it's better that you answer as many questions as possible rather than and miss a couple than you just guessing and getting it wrong. You can also guess too. But you can open that link. You can start taking that test. Again, you have 50 questions and 12 minutes to answer all 50 questions. So you guys can take that and then just you guys take your time. So I'll give you, it should take you 12 minutes. So we'll just, when you're done, just come back and we'll talk about it. We'll see what everyone got. Okay. Thank you, Maya. I'll let you back in. But if you guys want to take that, you're more than welcome to. So. Chewy got kicked out. Or is there another Chewy Ridge? There's two Chewy Ridges. Why are there two Chewy Ridges? Oh, Chewy. Oh, okay, gotcha. By the way, an update for those of you who have met Riley and everything too, or at least seen Riley. Riley got sprayed by a skunk this weekend. So that was lovely to deal with. So that's why I've been dealing with just my whole house smelling like skunk for the past 4 days or so. So, oh no, it was just about the test, Allie. It was about, so you just have to take this test, and then I sent you a link for that test. So just take that. You have 50 questions. You have 12 minutes to answer it. Answer all the questions, just as best as you can. Again, not grading it or anything. This is just strictly an intelligence test. I thought it was, since we're talking about intelligence tests this weekend, their measure of success too, I thought it was pretty relevant. So Marisol is in the house. Let's go. Maya's going to come back in a bit. Cardenas should. Okay. All right. So, again, for those of you just joining us, I sent you a link that on a practical intelligence test. Again, it's a test that's given to everyone who plays football. So when football players go to the draft, this is the test that they have to take before they get into the NFL. Kind of gives the NFL a good, or at least I think even basketball players take this. It's called the Wonderlic test. Is to see how smart somebody is, but just with practical intelligence. It kind of just sees like how quickly they can retain information. Because I mean, a lot of football is about just retaining information and knowing plays, knowing when to do something, knowing how to read certain situations. And it's a lot of information to really take in to be a football player at any position. So this is why they give this practical intelligence test to kind of test to see if somebody is capable of doing this kind of IQ test. So it's 50 questions, 12 minutes. So take as much time as you need to answer it. You guys can start, and then we will get going. So Marisol and Maya back in. Okay, so we're still waiting on Carla and Juan. And once basically we've started, but we'll start. At least I'm going to let you guys get ahead on this, and then we'll talk about what you guys got. Don't lie. This is what you guys got, and then we'll talk about IQ as a measure of success too. Okay, so why don't we get going on this? So I'm going to post a link on Google Classroom. If you guys are just taking the test, don't worry about it. You can finish whatever you're doing and keep going. Just listen to what I'm saying as best you can. So this is scored between basically a 0 and 50. I mean, it's just a very easy IQ test, basically. And statistically speaking, the average is about 26. So at least for Jesse and Derek are the two that I've heard so far, did all right on it. Not terrible at all. And in fact, you beat out most people. The average score for a quarterback in the NFL is a 25.9.
Hell yeah.
For running backs, it's a 17.5. For wide receiver, it's a 19.7. For O lineman, which is the highest one, it's a 26.8. That's the average score. But then also they go by, because they also do this for certain jobs too. So like for systems analysts, that's the highest score usually is a 32. That's the average score for system analysts. An engineer is 29. A chemist is 31. An accountant is 28. An executive is 28. A reporter is 28. A teacher is 28. A copywriter is 27. Let's see. Secretary is 24. Drafter or electrician is 23. A nurse is a 23. Cashier is a 21. Firefighter is a 21. Receptionist is a 21. Train conductor is a 21. Security guard is a 17. Warehouseman is a 15. And a janitor is a 14.
Bro, that test wasn't even that hard. So.
But I mean,
it was mostly like just common sense questions.
Well, I mean, you got to remember too, just timing too. Some people might not think as quickly as others, so that's why it's like it's tough. It's like and this is just a practice test. This is not like
it's not the real,
yeah, which probably is maybe a little bit harder. But technically speaking, I mean, this is not uncommon. Like you guys might have a job in the future where you have to take the Wonderlic test and show your practical abilities to retain information and also use information in a certain way. So I thought that was just a cool exercise. So whatever you get, at least you kind of know where you stand. If you get below a 10, which there's two names on here that crack me up, but in the NFL, there are two people who have scored some of the lowest tests in the Wonderlic were Frank Gore and Vince Young. They both scored a 6 on their Wonderlic test. So, wow. Although Vince Young didn't have that good.
Frank Gore's a beast.
I mean, he played with the Niners. That could explain.
Hey man, I'm telling you this much. You probably get hit in the head that much. Also, when you're a running back,
yeah,
that probably is what happened. So, but anyway, so I thought that was a cool thing just to start with, and at least maybe get your brains going for the day. And it really is a good way to kind of, but it shows that like, I think what the good thing that this chapter points out, and the thing that I think it's a good thing Malcolm Gladwell points out, is that just because you have a high IQ does not mean you are going to be successful, and vice versa too. I mean, Frank Gore is a good example of this. The guy scored a 6 on his Wonderlic test. Maybe there were things going on at the time too. Maybe he's not that dumb, but maybe he just wasn't thinking clearly or whatever it was. That kind of stuff happens. So again, this is not uncommon to take a test like this if you want to get a job. I'm sure there's some jobs that make you take this. So, having said all that too, uh, this chapter is like the first chapter where we talk about what doesn't make it, like how people could be unsuccessful too, even though they're almost destined to be successful. And this guy Chris Langan, I hope you guys at least his interview that he had with Spike Jones, I thought was really weird, and like the guy is just like on another level of intelligence. But I thought it was interesting to talk about like how Malcolm Gladwell compares it to like basketball players. You know, just because you're 7 foot doesn't mean you're better than the guy who's 6'5". At some point, it doesn't matter anymore. Other factors come into play after a certain point, but you probably do need to be above like 6'1" at least in order to be considered successful in the NBA. So it's all like there's like a cutoff point where really height doesn't matter anymore. Same thing with IQ. At some point, it doesn't matter if you have a 195 IQ and you're 30 points higher than Einstein. Einstein was still a genius, but he was a genius in other ways. He wasn't the quote unquote, he didn't have the quote unquote highest IQ, but there were other things that made him very intelligent. And probably more successful, or did make him more successful than Chris Langan. So this guy, I just kind of want to get your thoughts. Does anybody have any thoughts about Chris Langan and this whole chapter? Like, what did it make you think? Did you guys think like right away that people who have a high IQ or genius or things like that would be successful? Like, what do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how to describe it because I was already thinking that way anyways. You know, like IQ doesn't define you. It's like your ability of what you can do.
Mm.
So just that whole chapter was just like, it was kind of just like a refresher in my mind, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think for some people they kind of realize, like, I think maybe people are more aware of it now, but like I think for a long time people just thought like, oh, if you're a genius, like you can just get wherever you want. Like it's just a given, like, people will find you, like a Harvard or a Stanford would have found this guy and would have, made him a student or involved him in like some program or something like that. And he didn't, he got lost in the wayside. So I think it was just an interesting, and the guy's a security guard at a bar. I think he still is to this day, and he's writing a book and doing other stuff too. But those are the things that he likes in his life, and he's chosen. So, I feel like everyone at one point has thought that someone. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with that. Like, I mean, IQ is only so far, right? Like, it only can show you so far. I think even people with high IQ can have really strange opinions or strange ideas, and maybe just. And there's also, I like the idea of the difference between academic intelligence and practical intelligence, and I think that that's really important too. That you have to have some level of practical intelligence where you understand the world around you, or you understand the system around you. And that can be really challenging. Like, it's not easy to like kind of filter out the things in your academic, like, or like you can tell academic success, but you can also know people who have a lot of academic success, but they don't know how to work the system, almost, quote unquote. And they don't know how to be like how to survive in those kind of environments. So yeah, I think that's that's why I really like this chapter, because it wasn't just about what made people successful. It was about other stuff. It was about, pointing out that this isn't just how you become successful. You can't just be smart and that's it. You have to have other things too. So anyone else have something? Jesus, you got something? Did you read the chapter? Oh, Jesus. Not Chewy. Mona, you got something
For what?
for the chat? Did you read the chapter? Of
Of course I did.
course you did. Yes, you, Jesus. Hold on, let me go. I'll come back to you. Monica,
Yeah.
what did you think of the chapter?
I can't think right now.
Can't think right now. Wake up. Wake up. Trust me, I'm tired too. All right, Jesus, what do you got? You agree with the chapter? All right. That's it? You didn't read it, did you? Okay. I knew you didn't. All right. Who read the chapter? Come on, guys. Y'all got to read the chapter.
Nobody read it.
God, guys, come on. All wake up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, all right. If you all haven't read the chapter, then I'm just going to make the tests harder or the quizzes harder. Yeah, I would suggest you guys all catching up and reading the chapters, both 3 and 4, this week, please. Especially make your tests easier. Your tests easier over the next couple of days. Okay, Jesse, you should not be doing my econ homework right now in English. So don't turn.
I was just turning it in. That's all.
You were probably working on it while we were doing this, though.
Just a little bit.
Okay, I figured. All right, what did you think of the chapter? Did you read it?
You see, I read it, but whether I actually retained the information or not, that's a whole different story.
Okay. You should go back and read it, and so that way you can get a hang on what exactly it's saying. Okay. Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to wake up. Come on. I know that everyone's been stuck inside. I had to wake up. Everyone has to wake up. You guys are fine. So, all right. So here's what I want you guys to do, at least to keep in mind for the next couple days. Okay. So you guys are next week. We have a short week. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's it. So from there, so you guys work on Tuesday. Technically work on Tuesday. Monday, I'm putting out I have a YouTube video ready that is already done. I will release it on Sunday night, so that way you can see it. I'll put up the assignment. You guys have one assignment that's due on Wednesday, and then that's it. So then you guys are on spring break. We do not have anything for a week and a half. So no Zoom calls, nothing. And we don't have a Zoom call next week too. Okay. So you guys are set through the next week, basically, or week and a half. So just watch my video next week. I want you to fill out the assignment that I have for you guys. And then that's it. That's all you need to do. So, and then we come back on the 20th. So I know you guys probably heard that we are now going until May 1st at the very earliest when we'll be back. And then we're kind of just playing it by ear to see whether, we are coming back at any point in May. But I will have stuff ready for those weeks of class. So, honestly, that was probably about it. Also, you guys have been pretty good about turning in assignments. I've been missing some stuff here and there. But you guys have been pretty good about making sure that you turn in assignments and that you have stuff ready. I will tell you, there's some of you who are like, you guys should be getting 20 and 20 on these quizzes. Like, it's like, there's no reason for you guys to get like even 16, 18, like fine. Like it might just, something might have, you put something in wrong, but I mean, you guys should be getting 20 out of 20 for most of you. So make sure you give yourself time. At least I think that's the biggest thing, is that I'm seeing people like turn stuff in like at last minute. Like just give yourself time to actually do it. And it's better, might be better if you actually just take the hit on, it being late, which is 5 points that I basically take off. I'd rather you guys take the hit on it being late, and then, you get a better grade and just take the 5 points than get lower than that. So anyway, I would again, I know most of you are tired. I know most of you are out of it. I get it, but honestly, like you guys should be awake for class and like awake and read. You guys have nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. All right. Please read the book. It is really good. It's interesting, and I think like you guys would get something out of it. And you guys will have to read it when we come back from break. We're starting our projects on Outliers. We are starting, and we are going to do it all the way through the end of the year. Whether it's online or in person, we're just going to wait and see. We'll see how that goes. So, all right. So, do you guys have any questions? Does anyone have anything? If you do, you are free to ask. If not, you guys are free to go. So,
Miss you, Neach.
Yeah.
I miss you guys too. I hope you guys are doing all right. You guys need to keep up with your stuff, though, man.
Hey, you already know I already read the book.
You read the entire thing. I'm not worried about that. But some of you guys just need to make sure you guys are keeping up. But I hope everyone's doing all right. I know it's been kind of weird and stressful and like a whole bunch of different things. So, but please just make sure you're keeping up as much as possible. Okay.
It's a niche.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a governor announced that the California schools will now open for the remainder of this academic year. Can that?
Well, that's for public
That's
school.
for public. Yeah.
Oh,
And, I mean, but I will tell you that that's probably a recommendation that Crystal Ray will consider because it just, if no one else is going. But here's the thing too: California schools usually public schools go until only
Mid-May,
May,
something like
like May, like first or second week of May. So they're planning out for through May. But for us, we go until June. And I think the question is whether it's worth it to bring kids from May or June, the May or June area, basically, and then try to figure out how exactly that works. And like whether we can maybe have 3 weeks of in-person class, maybe 2 weeks, maybe finals week, we just have something. But I mean, I don't know. I have no clue. And then, whether we have graduation or not, I think is still on the table. It's just, we probably are going to go into a recession, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to, nothing like this has ever happened before. So I don't even know if you could call a recession. We're going to talk about this in econ. But a recession is basically a long period of time in which, it's a long period of time. So you can't just say automatically we're in a recession. That's just not how it works. And anybody who does that is just trying to get hype, basically. And this has never happened before. We've lost this many people. This many people have lost jobs this quickly. But we also have never had our economy just stop. That's never just happened. So you can't just say this is just a recession right away. It's just not how it works. So, I would say that we are probably going to, but it's not going to be for a while until we figure that out and what that means or how bad it is. And we're just going to have to wait and see. It's kind of like, and it all depends on when this virus stops. Whenever it kind of hits a wall or things start to get better, that's when we're going to know. So hold on. Who is talking? Asking a question. No. But yeah, we'll talk about this in econ. So.
Neach.
Yeah.
Can I be in your econ class now? Miss Boyd doesn't do Zoom meetings.
She doesn't do anything?
No.
Oh yeah.
She just puts it on Classroom and is like, here, do them, and that's it.
Well, I mean, teach their own. So yeah.
Invite me.
You can join. I mean, you're more than welcome to just come in and sit in if you want to.
There's no code?
No code. I'll send you an invite if you want.
All right, cool.
I'll send you. Which one do you want? 5th or 6th period? That's 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I'll send you.
Which is the good one? Which is the good one?
6th just talks all the time. 5th doesn't talk as much. So we have good conversations in 6th, but it can kind of.
5th period is the best.
5th period's good.
5th, okay. I'll go 5th.
We get heated in arguments. That's why.
What would you say, Jesse?
We get heated in arguments sometimes.
Do you? Sometimes.
Econ, or is that English only?
No, 5th period, you guys. 5th period. No, this class, you guys. 2nd period, you guys get pretty heated in arguments, but 5th period will if there's something. But for the last couple of weeks, you guys have all been kind of like not like when we were actually in person. Some of you were like just flatlined. So some of you were just hit the senioritis pretty hard. So yeah. But yeah, I'll send you something, Derek, so there you can sit in and get an idea. I don't know what we're going to be talking about money today. So
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what we're doing. I just kind of take notes
yeah,
like blindly.
I'm sure we'll talk about the recession at somebody will ask a question about that. So
All right.
all right. So any other questions about this or outliers or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, guys. So you guys are all free to go. Just let me know if you have questions. Finish your assignment. If you have not done your assignment from yesterday, do that. And then you have your quiz to do for Friday. Get those done as soon as possible. So that way you can just get it and put it in. And yeah, you guys are free to go. So, all right, guys.
All right, Neach, take care.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Neach.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Neach.